Hello students, so we were discussing about the mitochondria. Mitochondria have a ATP synthase particle here. This is the intermembranous space. This is crystalline inner membrane enfolding is there. Ribosomes are there, granules are there. Right, deoxyribonucleic acid. We were talking about in last video that deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. This is called the semi-autonomous cell organelle or semi-autonomous structure. Only two structures are there which are known as semi-autonomous, that is mitochondria and chloroplast. Why? Because they have their own DNA, right? They divide with the help of fission. Clear? Fission is the asexual type of reproduction. This is inner membrane and outer membrane. See, function of mitochondria. Mitochondria are the site of aerobic respiration. You know this. It produces cellular energy in the form of ATP, and hence they are called as the powerhouse of the cell, right? The matrix of mitochondria also possesses single circular DNA molecule, few of RNA molecules, ribosomes, etc. These are present in the mitochondria. Mitochondria divides by the fission. Clear? Now comes to the plastids. Plastids are the cell organelles of the plant cells and euglenoids. On the basis of type of pigments, plastids can be classified into chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast, right? It depends on the type of pigments present in the structure. Chloroplast contain chlorophyll, you know, which is and carotene pigments, which are responsible for trapping light energy essential for photosynthesis. Clear? So in the chromoplast, fat soluble carotenoids are present, with like pigment carotenes, xanthophylls are present here. This gave the part of the plant a yellow, orange or red color. Clear? So the leucoplast are the colorless plastid here. Amyloplast store carbohydrate, starch, example potato. Eleoplast store oils and fats, and eleuroplast store protein. So these are the type of plastids. Clear? In which chloroplast is more important because it helps in the photosynthesis and it has a chlorophyll pigment. What is the structure of chloroplast? See, you can see this is the structure. This is also a double membrane cell organelle. Outer membrane is there, inner membrane is there, and stroma is the inner matrix present, or sorry, whatever fluid is present here, this is called stroma. And this is single this structure, this is called thylakoid, and collectively this is called granum or grana, right? This is inner membrane. This is the space between space present here, this is called lumen. Clear? So chloroplasts are double membrane bound structure. I told you inner chloroplast is called the stroma. A number of organized flattened membrane of sacs called the thylakoid are present in the stroma, and thylakoids are arranged in the stacks like piles of coins called the grana. The chlorophyll pigments are present in the thylakoids. Ribosomes are the granular structure first observed by the George Pallet. You have to know this. So they are composed of RNA or ribonucleic acid and proteins and are not surrounded by any membrane. Remember it, student, right? So eukaryotic ribosomes are 80S types, while the prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S type. Remember it, student. There are types of ribosomes are also present. So what's the meaning of S? S stands for sedimentation coefficient, right? So 80S type present in the eukaryotic cells, and 70S ribosomes present in the prokaryotic cell. Clear, students? So let's see the cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton network of filamentous proteinaceous structure present in the cytoplasm is collectively referred to as the cytoskeleton. Obviously its function is to provide the mechanical support. It helps in the motility and maintenance of the shape of the cell, right? It is clear by name that cytoskeleton means skeleton of cell. Cyto means cell. Clear? Now see the cilia and flagella. I'll give you the tell you the structure of flagella, the flagella inlets, right? You see the centrosome and centrioles. Centrosome is an organelle containing two cylindrical structures called centrioles, right? They are surrounded by pericentriolar materials. So see, this is the structure of flagella here. Flagella present in flagella, this is made up of nexin. This attachment is called as the nexin, right? Tubules are present here. This is A tubule, B tubule. You can see 9 plus 1. 9 is in cluster and 1 is in in a separated form. So 9 plus 1 form is present in the flagella. You can see this is given in your book also. So go to the NCERT. And this is the nucleus. Nucleus as a cell organelle was first described by Robert Brown in 1831. Later, the material of the nucleus is stained by the basic dyes. What's the meaning of basic dyes? Acidic and basic. There are two types of dyes, acidic and basic dyes, right? So basic dyes was given the name chromatin by Fleming. Clear? The nuclear matrix is called nucleoplasm. Whatever fluid is present in the nucleus, right, which contains nucleolus and chromatin. Clear? So the nuclei are spherical structures present in the nucleoplasm, right, student? You have seen in the nucleus. I'll show you in the next slide. Chromosomes are loose and indistinct network of nucleoprotein fibers. Every chromosome essentially has a primary constitutions on the centromere, are on the sides of which is shaped structures called kinetochores. The constitutions present in the chromosome, that is called kinetochore. So this is the typical structure of nucleus. You can see endoplasmic reticulum. This is present here around the nucleus. Nucleolus, spherical, tiny or small spherical shaped structure is present in the nucleus, that is called nucleolus. And these thread-like structures are called chromatin or chromosome. This fluid structure is called nucleoplasm, and these pores are called as nucleopore, right? And this is the nuclear envelope, right? The outer layer is called the nuclear envelope. Clear, student? This is the typical structure of nucleus. You have to learn it. You have to practice the diagram of the nucleus and whatever I have given you. Right, so based on the position of the centromere, the chromosome can be classified into 4 types. One is the metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, and acentric. So on the basis of the position of the centromere, as you know, in centromere are present in the chromosome. If centromere present middle of the chromosome, that will called as, which divides into equal halves, it called as metacentric chromosome. When the centromere slightly away from the middle of chromosome, where one is the shorter arm and one is the longer arm, this is called submetacentric. Acrocentric, in the acrocentric centromere is situated close to it and forming one extremely short and one very long arm. Clear? So this is called acrocentric chromosome, right? So acentric chromosome, it has a terminal centromere, right, where short and long arm cannot divide in the acentric chromosome, right? See, this is the diagram of types of chromosome. Centromere in the middle, telocentric, this is not in humans. Acrocentric, you can say terminal, it is present in the terminal. Submetacentric, slightly away, one is shorter arm, one is the longer arm. And metacentric is the present in the middle of the chromosome. This spherical structure is called as kinetochore. Clear? Oh, sorry, centromere, right? Centromere. So this is the metacentric. Here equal halves are divided. P arm, short arm is called P arm and long arm is called as Q arm. Clear, student? Hope all these are clear to you. If you have any doubt, please ask me, message me. Clear, students? Thank you.